If you eat seasonally, coming up with a good salad in the middle of the winter can be a little tough. Sure, you can buy tomatoes at the supermarket, but they are hella expensive and they usually don't taste so great. So, here I have a ready-made winter mix. I try to stay away from these since they can get a little expensive, but a tip is to simply look at what they contain and just make your own. For example, my favorites are baby spinach and arugula, or rocket, or rucola. So here's some things that I just grabbed out of the fridge in the cabinet that I usually have on hand. We have croutons, sliced almonds, walnuts, feta, dried cranberries. I also have some red cabbage, carrots, parsley, and radish. So I'm going to make 2 different salads, but first I'm going to make a vinaigrette. I like to use a jar like this so that I can see my ingredients and get my ratios right, because a vinaigrette is simply 1 part acid, vinegar, or lemon juice, and 3 parts olive oil. I'm going to start with adding my olive oil, and I want to make quite a bit of this vinaigrette so I can save some for another day. And don't forget, a little bit of this goes a long way. And now white wine vinegar. Now, this is a little harder to see since it's white than, say, balsamic vinegar or red wine vinegar. It's important to season it as well, so I'm going to sprinkle in a little salt. You should make this a little saltier than you think you should since you're going to be adding it on to a lot of vegetables. Pepper. Okay. So that's the base for a basic vinaigrette, but I like to add a little Dijon mustard as well. It gives it a little more bite, a little tang. And another reason why I like using a jar is because to mix, you can just close it right up and shake it together. All right, so the vinaigrette's all set. And we can start on our vegetables. I'm going to peel this carrot into nice strips. Red cabbage. I'm going to slice this really thin. Cabbage is easier to eat raw when it's thinly sliced. And don't forget to just cut out the core. So I'll start with the cabbage. I'm going to do a few radishes. I don't know, radishes. Take off the stems. And then you're just going to thinly slice these as well. Because radish can have a little bit of a bite, and I don't want too much of that in my salad. Let's put together our first salad. I have a bowl here, so I'm just going to throw in some of these greens, throw in a little bit of spinach, a little arugula, all of our veggies that we sliced up, and I'm also going to add a little parsley. Often you don't really think about putting whole leaf parsley in a salad, but it actually works really well. So just toss this together so everything's blended up. Now the base of our salad is ready. All we have to do is add a little vinaigrette for flavor, and we're also going to add a little crunch. Be careful not to overdress the salad. You can always add more later. I like to mix my greens in the dressing before I put in the croutons so that they don't get soggy. So this is a very simple everyday salad that you can have that has tons of color even in the winter time. Our next salad is something slightly nicer but still simple. We'll start with our baby spinach, our arugula. It's kind of an ugly name for such a nice thing. All right, so let's just drizzle on some of this vinaigrette. So our greens are nice and seasoned. Okay, sprinkle in some of these cranberries. These taste really good, especially in the winter when you want something a little tangy and tart and fruity. Our goat cheese. Don't worry if the chunks are a little big at first. When you toss up the salad, they'll fall apart. And some walnuts. I'm just gonna give these a quick little crunch in my hand. And I also just happen to have some sliced almonds, so why not throw those in? All that's left to do is to simply toss together your salad and you're ready to go. The flavors in the salad work so well together. It's awesome, trust me. Visit Americulinariska.com for more tips and recipes. Don't forget to subscribe.